guys, so you guys seen this little guy here? It's time to put her to use, see how it works. Actually making something bigger than just a practice piece. Hopefully this isn't a video where this head comes off and smacks me in the face or something, which is somewhat of a possibility, but I do have steel coming hopefully soon for making a new drift. Watched a bunch of videos. One of the guys that I watch, Old Hickory Forge, he actually says what size he uses. At least diameter wise, uses 1 inch diameter for his drifts. So I went ahead and I ordered 1 inch diameter and 12 inch sections. So that'll be nice. I will be making another video on making a drift because this little guy did work. I didn't heat treat this at all. It is mushrooming pretty bad, which that's what this end's supposed to do. So you can dress it every once in a while. But I'm noticing just some dings and dents and stuff in the sides, which will happen. But I didn't know what this was made of. This was off of my truck. So it did work. It is working. Just not as well as I'd hoped with this hammerhead. I'm pretty sure I know what to do. We'll get into that when I get the steel here. We'll make that and make that into a video. Now, one of the things I do need, because I've been in a making a tool kind of mood. If you guys have been following the Bowie build, I will get back to that. It's just taking me some time. I enjoy making tools, so I kind of took a sidestep. But I made a hammer. Some more of these are coming after I make another drift. But if you guys know what a Hardy tool is, I need a hot cut Hardy. Pretty bad for doing little tiny things. So I do have 1.5 inch round 1045 stock, and my Hardy hole is 1 inch. So I'm figuring that 1/2 inch leeway I can forge square until it fits in there, and then make a Hardy tool out of this. So I'm thinking I'm going to cut this at 3 inches. So I'm going to measure that, put it in my little nifty chop saw dealio there, and I'll actually show you guys how that works this time. So let's go ahead, and forge is already hot. Should have done that in reverse, but go ahead and bring you guys in, show you how this cuts, and go from there. So guys, I'm gonna go ahead and tip this back. This is that little tool I've got. It's got nice little adjusters here and up here for tipping the grinder this way. So I squared it up already, so hopefully it's nice and square. There's board back here, back behind it. Hopefully that doesn't become an issue at some point. I keep checking it. It doesn't seem like it's really burning or anything, so I may or may not attempt to do a voiceover for this, but I am going to go ahead and cut this in time. So let's go ahead and get this cutting. But I will, just for safety's sake, for people's ears, I am going to shut the audio off for when I do this. So I'm going to go ahead and shut the audio off and then get this grinder started. So guys, hopefully the audio came back on, and it looks like, yep, so I noticed it moved a little bit after I got going, and essentially what happened is the clamp got loose. So I'm going to go ahead and finish cutting this, and then we'll go ahead and move on from that. Alright guys, I don't know, like I measured it at 3 inches when I cut it, and I figured about 1 inch of it I'm going to draw out to go in my hardy hole. My hardy hole's in a funny spot. This is a farrier anvil. I don't know if it's easier for it to be over here. Usually it's where this, I believe this is called a turning hole. That's normally where the hardy hole's at. But I'm going to go ahead and I measured out 1 inch, which from the edge of this turning hole to the edge of the anvil is about 1 inch. So I'm going to go ahead and use that to kind of see where it's at. Then we'll go ahead and start drawing that out. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the steel out and get started. I'm going to go ahead and use the rounding side. So it's about that much. Go ahead and flip it over. See, I'm starting to get it squared already. So essentially I'm going to work that square down until it fits in that hole. So I'm going to go ahead and keep working that down. Bring you guys back when we get close to that size, show you what we're working at. Then we'll go from there. Alright guys, so went ahead and it's pretty much enough to drop in there. Now we're going to go ahead and take the flat side. Drive it in a couple times. Spin it. Yep, I'm going to go ahead and keep doing that until I got a nice flat bottom. Then I'll bring you guys in for the next part. Okay, sadly I had to switch back to my other hammer. So it's always nice to have extras sitting around. But now that this is the right size, I have it kind of flat around this hole. For the most part, I had to get a different set of tongs to grab that end, because now we're going to start working on the cutting edge. Essentially all we're going to do is beat it flat and work at the front. And every once in a while we'll pop it back in there and flatten that up a little bit. So we'll just do that. Flat side. Just try to stop any of that fish mouth. We'll go ahead and pick it up and get her back in the fire again. So go ahead and do it again. and keep right on going. This will be the last heat I do on camera. And we'll bring you guys back towards the end of the forging. But just you just kind of keep working it until it's the shape you want. Yep, and then getting to the point where I have to go in sideways like this. So guys, you might notice that the camera's in a slightly different position, and that's because just for me hammering this, since it's such a big piece of steel, the vibrations from my anvil to my stand, which is a bunch of cinder blocks, toppled over. So yeah, now I have to do it lower to the ground so it's more stable. But I figured it's almost done, so I'd go ahead and bring you guys in. I'm essentially going to normalize it. That's what we got. So the shoulders, I got to adjust them just a little bit. So I'm going to put it flat. Going with the flat on my hammer. Just kind of gently tap it until it's kind of more straight. Yep, that should be pretty good for what I'm going to be using it for. So I'm going to go ahead and let this sit and cool, just like that. I'm going to bring it up to temp and let it cool a couple times, quench it in water, and then I'll go ahead and show you guys the quench, and then we'll end this video with that. Here we go. And I did warm up the water a little bit since it is cold out. So hopefully warmed it up enough. Well, it looks a lot like the hammerhead after I quenched it, so hopefully that means it's good. I hope. So I'm going to wrap this video up here in a second and we'll file test it at the same time. Oh, here we go, guys. Just cut off hardy and let's see if it's hard. Sounds like it's not as hard as it could be, but probably hard enough for hot cut. So I'm still going to temper this. Maybe it's the scale that's coming off easy. I don't know. Excuse me. So, well, we'll see. But I'm going to go ahead and clean this up in a grinder and stuff, and we'll go ahead and do a video on using this in the anvil. The one biggest thing I have issues with is this gap here is smaller than this gap here. Now I could grind it or whatever. Maybe if I had a block for my anvil, I could try to shift that up. It's not that big of a deal. It's going to sit, as long as it sits flat, it's not going to be that big of a deal to me. But thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe. All the fun stuff I know you guys with every time. But it's fun making tools. I enjoy making tools more than I thought I was going to. So thanks for following me on my little journey here.